Hello and welcome to your yoga flow. We'll begin on the mat in tabletop position for cat-cow. So as you're ready, come down to hands and knees. And we'll take an inhale to arch the spine, lift the chest, and then as you exhale, round your back, push the floor away from you. Keep that going as you inhale, arch the back, lift the tailbone, drop the belly down, and then moving slow with your exhale, round the back, tuck the chin into the chest. And we'll keep that going, so every time you breathe in, you'll arch. Every time you breathe out, you'll round. As you go, find some fluidity through the spine, synchronizing breath with movement. And if it feels good to veer off the railroad tracks a little bit here, you can take any other movements that organically unfold from that baseline. So maybe a stretching of the wrists or a barrel rolling of the chest. Maybe a side-to-side flexion of the spine, anything that's going to help you warm up and loosen up here. So you can see I'm getting my neck involved. That might feel good as well. As you do move, pay attention to your foundation, so still pushing away from the ground. And now we're going to walk the hands forward for puppy pose. So you can walk the hands towards the top edge of your mat and do your best to keep the hips stacked relatively over the knees here as you drop your chest towards the ground. Now you can do tops of the feet on the floor or tuck the toes under, but do find some pressure down with either tops of the feet or balls of the feet. And then as you melt the heart towards the earth, heart to earth pose, you can choose to either keep the forehead on the floor or deeper opening. It quickly escalates the posture here, but you might take the chin down to the ground. Easy exhales, the breath is still moving, and if it's not, then back out of it a little bit and find where you can breathe comfortably. Good, just a couple more breaths. And then starting to walk your hands back towards a tabletop position. We'll round the spine, doing an opposite or a counter pose. Nice. And now we're going to find some fluidity through the spine with an up dog to a child's pose. So moving on hands and knees, come back to a child's pose with an exhale. Start to round forward and bring the chest and the chin to the ground. Now slide the pelvis onto the floor and inhale, lift the chest. And then as you exhale, roll the chest back down, push with your hands and shins, and rise back up for a happy baby, not happy baby, child's pose. That's the movement that we're going to keep going. So every time you inhale, you're going to slide the pelvis down and lift the chest. Say hi to Momo. And then as you exhale, lower the chest, lift the hips, push with the hands and shins, round the spine back for child's pose. Good, and then rounding forward, we'll eventually lift the chest, drop the chest and chin, slide the pelvis and the belly down, and lift the chest. Inhale, like you're peeling open, and then exhale to push the floor away and rise back up. You'll find a movement of your own with this, so that's my baseline of movement that I'm offering, and you'll find what feels best for you as you glide through a few of those. Now tucking your toes under, we're going to rise up to a down dog and start to pedal out the feet by bending one knee and bending the other knee. This is a good chance to loosen up the backs of the legs, so feel the stretch through the calves, through the hamstrings. Any other movements, just like we did in cat-cow, that you want to take, go ahead and make it your own. So you might want to lift a leg and lift the other leg. You might want to take a twist here or just keep marching it out. For some of us, it'll feel good to just hold it in stillness. So if that's you, do that. Deep breaths through the nose. And this is just a chance to warm up the legs before we get moving, warm up maybe even the intercostal muscles between the ribs. Keep breathing as you move. Now we'll start to walk the feet towards the hands for a forward fold at the top of the mat. So step by step by step, make your way to Uttanasana, forward fold. Drop the crown of the head down, and you might grab opposite elbows here, but we will sway side to side. I was catching a little bit of humor, so If you have people in the room with you, you might also be catching some humor there. From here, you're going to bend the knees and round the spine. Start to round vertebrae, vertebrae, vertebrae up to stand. So eventually you will come all the way up. When you do get up to stand, shrug your shoulders up to your ears and then exhale, roll the shoulders down and back. We're going to do that several times. So as you inhale, shoulders come up. And as you exhale, glide the shoulder blades together on the back and down towards the pants line. A couple of times just like that. Big inhales, we shrug. Long exhales, glide the shoulders back. And we're still warming up here, so any other movements that come from that might feel good, so make it your own. Good. Now standing here in Tadasana a couple of breaths, you might use this as an intention to, or a time to set an intention for your practice. And we'll start to flow with that. Coming into a half Sun Salutation on an inhale from a forward fold, halfway lift. And on your exhale, go back to a forward fold. On your inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Look up towards your hands, stretch. And then as you exhale, bring the arms down. We'll keep that going. So as you inhale now, moving with your breath, you'll reach the arms up. Use your exhale to forward fold all the way down over the legs. Inhale, hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise to stand, reach the arms up overhead, look up towards your thumbs, and then as you exhale, bring your arms back down. Another like it. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, rise, reach the arms up, look up. Push the feet down as you reach the arms upward, and then as you exhale, bring the arms down. Good. Take a moment, again, checking in with your intention, setting an intention if you haven't already. On your inhale, reach the arms up, and then as you exhale, forward fold. This time we're going to find a pattern of movement by stepping the right foot back, lowering that knee, and on your inhale, you'll lift the arms, lift the chest. With your exhale, you'll move to a half split, and your hands can come to the floor or blocks for this. You'll fold over that front leg. With your inhale, you'll push the back shin down and lift the arms up. Exhale, push the left heel down, bow forward. Inhale, right shin presses down, arms reach up. Exhale, left heel pushes down, chest comes forward. Good. Now walk the hands forward, step to a downward facing dog. And we'll do the other side with an inhale. Come forward into plank to lower. Inhale to upward facing dog. And then exhale back to downward facing dog. Now for the other side, we'll lift the right leg. Inhale. Exhale to step it through. Lower the back knee. And on your inhale, rise. Low lunge. Exhale to half split. Bow in. Inhale, low lunge. Good. Catch the wave of the breath as you exhale, fold over the right leg. And then as you inhale, ground with the back leg, lift the arms up buoyantly. Exhale to half split. So the breath is key here. Bend the right knee. We'll walk the hands forward and step to the top of the mat. On your inhale, rise to stand. Exhale, arms down by the sides. Now we're going to lead with the opposite leg, left leg. On your inhale, reach the arms up. Same pattern of movement. As you exhale, no rush to get there. Forward fold. Even though we know it's coming, we'll take it slow with the breath. Step the left foot back and lower the knee. On your inhale, lift the arms and chest. Exhale, bow forward, curl in. 3 total. On your inhale, rise, lift the arms and chest. Exhale, curl in. Inhale, rise up to the low lunge. Left shin is helping to stabilize. As you exhale, fold. Rebend your right knee to walk the hands forward, and we'll step it back. Downward facing dog. Now glide forward into high plank. Inhale and exhale to chaturanga with or without your knees. On an inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, step it through. Lower the back knee and inhale to that low lunge. Exhale to your half split. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, half split. We usually rise on inhale, so your inhale is going to take you back up. And we ground or fall on exhales, half split, move towards the ground. Good, rebend that front knee. We'll pick up the back knee to step, forward fold. Inhale, rise to stand, reach the arms up. Exhale, arms come down by the sides. Now that's a pattern of movement we're going to stick with, putting the breath on a metronome, putting the mind on that rhythm, the heart on that rhythm. Exhale to fold. Step the right foot back. Inhale, rise. Exhale, curl in. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, bow and curl. Inhale, we rise. Exhale, we bow. Inhale, step back to your downward facing dog for an exhale. And then as you inhale, glide forward to lower exhale. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, lift the hips, but push the heels down, the hands down firm. Inhale, lift the right leg. And as you exhale, step forward, push down with the shin and the right foot as you reach the arms up. Inhale. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, bow in. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, bow. Honoring the movement of the breath here, the lungs moving in and out. We'll exhale to the top of the mat for a fold, and on the inhale, rise. On the exhale, arms come down, and we do it again. On your inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, find the grace in the fold, bowing all the way down, pushing feet against earth. On your inhale, step left foot back, lower the back knee, exhale. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, bow. Inhale, rise. Exhale, bow. Inhale, rise. Exhale to bow. Rebend. Step back, down dog. Glide forward, high plank inhale, and exhale to lower. Inhale, open the chest, lift the chin. Exhale, push the heels down as the hips rise high. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, step it through. Back knee comes down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Following the breath, inhale. Exhale. Good. Finding the mindfulness of the movement. Rebend the left knee. Step it forward to fold. Inhale to rise up. Exhale, arms come down. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale to fold. And eventually we'll start to move in a little bit of a different way, building on the pattern from before. Lower the right knee down. On your inhale, rise. On your exhale, lower the hands, shift it back, fold over the leg. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale to fold. Inhale to rise. This time walking the hands to the inside of that left foot for lizard pose. You can keep the back knee down or lifted. It might feel nice if you are going to leave it down to lift it for a couple of moments to rock forward and back on the ball of your right foot so you get a little bit of movement in the wrists, the hips, the ankle. And then whether or not you're lifting the knee, you might consider bringing the elbows down to the floor. If you bring the elbows down, they'll line up with your left heel, and if you're keeping palms down, they'll line up with your left heel. So whatever your foundation or your base is with the arms and hands, line it up. Bowing down inside of that left inner thigh, we'll make sure that we're still heavy in the right shin bone, finding some weight down with the top of the foot, the toenails. Walking your hands back if you're on the elbows, bend the left knee deeper, right knee deeper, back knee deeper. And if you want to go for a twist, you can reach the left hand back, grab a hold of that foot, so opposite hand grabs opposite foot. If you have the bind, you'll bring the left hand back down, lift the back knee up. Now we're going to walk the foot to the center of the hands for a lunge, lifting the arms up, the big inhale. Set the right heel down for warrior two. Look over the left fingers. And turning your left palm open to the sky or the ceiling, inhale back to a reversed warrior, keeping the bend of your left knee. And then shifting forward into a side angle, left elbow lands on the left thigh, right bicep by the ear. Now cartwheel the hands down for a twist. You'll lift the left hand as the right hand comes inside of the left foot. And then as both hands come down, step to down dog. Come forward to high plank and bend the elbows. Inhale to cobra or up dog, chaturanga flow. As you exhale, move back, downward facing dog for the other side. Inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, step the foot forward, lower the back knee. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold. Same thing. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, find the fold. And as you rebend the right knee this time, it'll be for your lizard pose, so you can keep the hands on the floor, walk the hands to the inside of that right leg. Lift the back knee even if you choose to put it down later, so you can shift forward and back a few times on the ball of your left foot. And this is a good chance to loosen up the front of the left hip, back of the right hip. Finding more mobility in the hips, more length in the hamstrings. And then lowering your left knee down to the floor, you can either untuck the left toes, press the shin, top of the foot down, or if it's better to keep the toes tucked under, ball of the left foot pushes down. Either way, find some grounding with that back leg. Hands either in line with the right heel or elbows in line with the right heel. Dial the chest down between the elbows or the hands. Heavy in the left shin. Breath stays even here as you hold lizard pose. And then coming back up to the hands, lining the hands up with the right heel, bend the left knee deeper, reach back with the right hand this time, grabbing the inside of the foot or the top of the foot, finding the stretch for the left quad. You might look back past the right shoulder. And then if you have that bind, go ahead and slowly, gently release it. Bring both hands back to the top of the mat, lifting the back knee. We'll move the right foot to the center of the hands to rise up, low lunge. Inhale. Set the left heel down as you exhale. Warrior two. Look over the right hand. And then turning the right palm open to the ceiling or the sky. Inhale to reversed warrior. Keep the deep bend of the right knee. Exhale to a side angle. Right elbow on the right thigh, left bicep by the ear. Stretch long from left fingers to left heel. And taking that twist, set the left hand down inside of the right foot. Reach the right hand high. Big open wingspan as you inhale. And then both hands down as you exhale. Step it back, down dog. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to your back bend, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. And this time, we'll hold down dog with the hands together. Walk the thumbs and the index fingers together to touch, prepping to move forward to a squat. So thumbs and index fingers touch, and you're going to hop the feet to the outsides of the hands. Pick up the hands to heart center and gently press thumb knuckles into the sternum bone. So thumb knuckles push into the chest to guide the chest a little bit higher. You're using the thumbs to gently drag the sternum up. And then you can either keep the hands at heart center or interlace the fingers, extend the arms forward or up, long spine so the tailbone is sinking down as the fingers pull up. Feet push down, navel draws in towards the spine, strong core. Good, one more breath, big inhale. Exhale, lower the hands. Nice work. As you lower the hands, come into either a forward fold or crow pose. If you're moving into crow, you'll place the palms flat, knees on the backs of the arms. And we're working at many different levels of crow. So if you have both feet on the ground and you're working towards lifting the feet, you might try getting high on the toes or lifting one foot off the floor, setting it down, lifting the other foot off the floor. Maybe both feet are lifted. Maybe both feet are down and you're still working on crow with toes on the ground. Breath is steady no matter where you're at. Make sure you're not holding the breath, but you're moving it fluidly through the nose. Open mouth exhales whenever you need it. Find a steady focus with the eyes. Lock the eyes onto something not moving. Hold it. And then slowly lower the feet. Well done. Back to your squat for just a moment. We're going to move on to the back for core work. Good. So come all the way down onto the ground. Setting yourself up for a traditional sit-up position. Go ahead and place the soles of the feet down. Interlace the hands behind the head. Find the low back flat to the ground. And we'll move with the breath very mindfully in our core work. You're going to exhale to lift. Inhale, expand the belly and lower. Exhale, draw the navel in and lift. And then inhale, expand the belly and lower. Exhale as we lift. Inhale as we lower. Exhale as we lift. Sacrum, low back pushing down the whole time. Heels and balls of the feet pushing down. So you're finding some grace and strength with that movement. Bringing grace and ease with the breath as well. Strength from your center. Navel drawing towards the spine to lift you up. Low back pushing to the floor to ground you. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. 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 I just wiped my nose on my collar. Inhale. Exhale to lift. Inhale. And release. Now we're going to bring the hands either underneath the sacrum or alongside the body. Palms down as we do a reverse crunch. Now tapping the toes. Exhale to lift the hips and the toes. Inhale, belly expands as the toes tap down. Exhale, navel to spine as your hips and toes rise. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, belly expands, low back stays down, and then exhale, lift. Draw the navel to the spine. Lift, exhale, lower, inhale. Lift, exhale, lower, inhale. Keep it going. Your breath pace might be different than mine, so honor whatever breath pace you've got going on. You've got it. Nice. Almost done. Nice. Now for the oblique work, we're going to do mindful bicycle crunches. You'll tap opposite elbow to opposite knee. Extend the leg that's not not meeting the elbow. So left elbow, right knee, then the left leg extends. Right elbow, right leg extends. Left elbow is tapping the knee, left, yep, you got it. Right elbow taps, right leg extends. Left elbow taps, left leg extends. I've got it. Okay. Exhale as you twist. Inhale back to center. Exhale as you twist. Inhale back to center. So that's your breath and movement. As you do your bicycle twists, low back stays on the ground, navel draws towards the spine. Inhale to center. Exhale to twist. Inhale, center. Exhale to twist. Inhale, center. Exhale to twist. And then release. Good. Last little bit here on the back. We're going to bring the hands again either under the sacrum or alongside the body and start to swivel the legs as you lower. So you're crisscross, crisscross up, and then crisscross, crisscross down. If you find a place where the low back feels strained or is arching deeply, you'll stop at that point. Don't lower the legs any further than there. So it might be just a little bit of a lower and then a lift to the top or wherever the top is for your hamstrings. It can be a big range of motion. It doesn't have to be a big range of motion. Most importantly, you're staying with the breath, inhaling deeply through the nose, exhaling deeply nose or mouth. Keeping the engagement of the core, keeping the low back down. Nice. And this time when you come to the top, we're going to find a little bit of a pulse up with the hands, lower legs and arms. Up with the hands and chest, and then lower legs and arms. Exhale, lift. Inhale, expand out. 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 Inhale to lift, or exhale to lift. Inhale to expand out. Excellent work. Take a breath for yourself here, lying on the back. Beautiful. And then stretch out the abdominal muscles by lifting the hips up high. You'll push the feet down as you take a bridge pose. A couple of moments here to now stretch the abdominal muscles after we just worked them quite a bit. Excellent work. Chin is lifting away from the chest. Feet are grounded very firmly, so you're pushing not only balls of the feet, but heels too, down into the ground. Use that as a rebound effect for the hips, so hips rise up. Good, and when you're ready to come out, do lift the heels and slowly roll your spine down, kind of like you're landing vertebrae, vertebrae, vertebrae. Zipper the spine to the floor. Hug the knees into the chest and rock up to a seat. Nice work. And then we're going to come to a Sphinx pose to stretch out the abdominal muscles. So lower your elbows down underneath the shoulders. Make the forearms an 11 shape. So instead of a triangle shape with the forearms here, 11 shape. Palms are pancake flat on the floor. Legs extend back behind you with the shins and tops of the feet pushing down. Forearms pushing down to lift up out of the shoulders. Think of lengthening your neck out of the collarbones. You can keep that variation, or if you'd like to bend the knees, you can use a bent knee variation to help press the pubic bone towards the floor. Good. And then scooting back just a little bit, we're going to come into a back strengthening exercise. Interlace the hands behind you. Extend the legs back behind you. And now as you lift the chest, pull the knuckles towards the heels, like you're going to touch the heels with the hands, with the knuckles. Lift the wrists away from the back so they're not resting on the bum. Lift the shins. Try to lift more of the upper thigh off the floor. And then release. Nice. Interlace the hands or set the hands on the back of the head. Push the legs and the pelvis down as you inhale. Exhale to lower the head. And then as you inhale, lift the chest. Lift the chin just slightly. Exhale, lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Shins push towards the floor. Even if they don't touch, you have some grounding force there. grounding to help the ease of the rise. Good, shins push down. Nice. And then from there, you can go back into that locust pose we did before, interlacing the hands behind the back, lifting the chest, or grab a hold of the shins, tops of the ankles, and start to kick the feet into the hands. Kick, kick, kick the feet back. Roll the shoulders back like you're splitting the chest open. Shoulder blades draw together on the spine like they're pushing the heart forward. And then either chin stays down or lift the chin up. Last couple of breaths, big inhale. Stay with the exhale. And then when you're ready to come out, slow release all the way to the ground. Nice. Now we just had a deep arch of the back, so now we're going to round the back. You can come into a cat pose, a child's pose, these are options, or a rabbit pose. Rabbit is going to be the deepest arch, deepest round of the back, so it's probably going to be your best option if you're up for it, to get that counter position of the spine. So you're going to set the forehead or the crown of the head down next to the knees. Grab the soles of the feet and lift the hips as high as you can. You have pressure on the head, so you're pushing the crown of the head or the forehead down as you elevate the hips high. And then release. Good. Nice and slow. Moving slow here since we were in different, especially if you were upside down, if you were in that rabbit position. Move slow to reorient. And then taking a twist either in Sukhasana or Hero's Pose, you'll inhale the arms up and exhale right hand to the outside of the left thigh. If it feels good to look past the left shoulder, do so. If it feels good to move the neck around a little bit, do so. Again, finding what feels best for you, finding what feels like a release for the spine and the neck. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, twist opposite side. Left hand to the outside of the right thigh as the right arm wraps behind you. And again, moving the neck or looking over the right shoulder. Good. From there, we're going to move back through table to down dog. And then finding a pattern of movement again, as you inhale, lift the right leg up. As you exhale, step the foot between the palms, rise to a high lunge. Inhale. As you exhale, warrior two, bend the left knee for Skandasana. Bend the right knee for Skandasana, opposite side. Now bend the left knee, go back to that three-legged dog as you sweep the left leg back, and we'll smooth this out because we're going to do it many times. Step the left leg forward and inhale. Same thing, rise. Exhale, warrior two. Skandasana, right side. Skandasana, left side, side lunge. Skandasana, side lunge, right side. Lift the right leg up, and now you see we're repeating that same movement. Opposite side, left leg lifts. Exhale to step through for your high lunge. Inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, Skandasana, right leg. Exhale, Skandasana, left leg. Inhale, right. Lift the right leg high, three-legged dog. And then exhale, step it through. Inhale, rise, crescent. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, Skandasana. Exhale, switch. Inhale, switch. Send the left leg up and back, and on an exhale, step it through. Inhale, opposite leg, right leg rises. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, Skandasana. Exhale, switch. Inhale, Skandasana. Send the left leg high. Exhale to step it through. Every time you're at the back of the mat, we reverse it. Inhale to rise. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, Skandasana. Exhale, warrior two. Sending right leg up and back. And opposite side, inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, step through. Inhale, rise. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, Skandasana. Exhale, warrior two. Skandasana, other side. Inhale, right leg rises. Exhale to step it through to reverse. Inhale, rise. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, side lunge. Exhale, switch. Inhale, side lunge to send that left leg high. And then step the foot down. Inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, step the foot between the palms. This time right away, go into warrior two. Straighten the right leg and quarter turn for goddess pose. So you're going to turn the heels in, toes out, bring the palms together at the heart. As you bend into your squat, as you bend the knees, try to have the knees stack over the heels. You can adjust the feet as you need to make it happen. Excellent work. Good. And then you can find what you want here. If you want to find a pulse, lifting and lowering the hips, you can find that. If it feels good to find some fluidity or movement with the arms, fluidity, movement with the arms. Maybe the hips rock side to side, breath stays even. Good. Now straightening out the legs, we'll pigeon toe the feet, turn the toes in. Toes in, heels out. On an inhale, reach the arms up, lift the chest. Exhale to forward fold. And now you can come down into your forward fold and hang there. Or if headstand is in your practice, you're going to walk the hands back in line with the feet. Lower the crown of the head down to the ground. You can do this if you're staying in forward fold. You can also place a block under the crown of the head, but not if you're going into headstand, not recommending. You'll lower the crown of the head down and you'll inhale, lift the legs up. Good. All the way up. And then holding in your headstand, trying to stack bones, hips over shoulders, knees over hips, ankles over knees, crown of the head and hands pressing down, toes pulling up, tailbone pulling towards the heels, belly button drawing back towards the spine. You'll slowly start to lower the feet back down to the ground. Slowly, slowly, slowly. And when they land, you're in your fold. We all meet in forward fold on an inhale, halfway lift. And on an exhale, start to heel toe the feet in, all the way into a forward fold with the legs together. Hang the head heavy. Good. And then round the spine and roll up to stand. I'm going to reorient on my mat here so that I face the front. Nope, I'm going to step wide into a warrior two. So find a warrior two to the back of your mat. Coming into a triangle, you'll straighten the left leg and start to reach the left hand forward and then down inside of the ankle or the calf. Right arm up towards the sky or the ceiling. Both feet are pressing down in your triangle so that the spine extends long out of the hips. If it feels good on your neck here, you can look up towards the right hand, or if it's better, look down towards the bottom hand. And then we'll re-bend the left knee, warrior two, and straighten the left knee, triangle. Re-bend the left knee, warrior two, and straighten the knee, triangle. One more time, bend the left knee, warrior two, back to triangle. This time as you re-bend the left knee, it will be to switch. So you're going to pivot the left foot, quarter turn, right foot. Reach the right arm forward and then down, triangle pose to hold. So first in the hold, finding the neck position you like, you can look up towards the left hand or down towards the right hand. Left leg is strong, so push down through the pinky toe, edge side of the left foot. Big toe mound of the right foot, and then bend the right knee, warrior two. Straighten the right knee, triangle. Bend the right knee, warrior two. Straighten the right knee, triangle. Bend the right knee, warrior two. And straighten the right knee, triangle. Bring yourself back up to warrior two briefly so we can step back to downward facing dog for a flow. Shift forward, high plank, bend the elbows, chaturanga. Inhale to cobra or up dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Now this time from down dog, we'll start to lift the left leg, tap left knee to left elbow, Inhale, left leg extends. Exhale, right knee, or right elbow, left knee, right elbow. Inhale, extend the left leg. And this time exhale to step the foot between the palms, rise up to Crescent Lunge, and then lower the hands down for supported warrior three. Hello, Haley. So cute. Extend your top leg back. So right leg is gonna float. Flex the right toes as you push the foot back, like you're pressing it into a wall. Press the crown of the head forward, same thing, like you're pressing crown of the head into a wall. Hands can stay on the floor or blocks. Hands can also come to heart center, extend forward or back. Now you're going to start to stand up, bringing the right leg along for the ride. Bring it in for a figure four. Cross the right ankle over the left thigh. Start to bend the hips, bend the knee, left knee for a figure four chair. Your right toes will stay flexed as you sink the hips down, just finding balance here so it doesn't have to be too rigid. If you fall out of it, get right back into it. Good. No right or wrong here, just finding a little bit of play with balance. If it feels good to set the elbows down on the leg, you can do that. If it feels good to set the hands down on the floor and straighten the left leg, you might find the hamstring stretch for the left leg. And I'll demo an arm balance here. So if you have the arm balance in your practice, you can also eventually set the hands down flat, similar to your crow pose. And then you'll hook the shin, right shin, on the back of the arms, the triceps, above the elbows. If you're taking that, just like crow, you'll lift the left heel to the glute and maybe even extend that left leg straight or keep it bent. Again, think of it as playtime. So a little bit of a structured playtime. Left heel in towards the glute. If you have that lift, and then slowly lowering the left foot down, we'll walk it back. Unpeel it just like you went into it. So now you're lifting hands to heart center, finding figure four chair, coming up to stand, reach the right knee high, and then we'll step forward to the top of the mat. Arms lift up as you inhale, forward fold as you exhale. Good, inhale, halfway lift. You can hop or step to chaturanga, inhale to a back bend, and exhale to a downward facing dog. Beautiful. Other side, on your inhale, lift. I accidentally started with left leg. You're going to do right leg. Lift your right leg. You'll reach the arms up for a crescent lunge. I'll notice here in a moment. Set your hands down. Coming into that supported warrior three. You have your left leg lifted this time. So I'm going to switch mine so I can meet you there. Flex your left toes. Push back with your left foot. So again, it's like you're standing on a wall behind you. Crown of the head pressing into an imaginary wall in front of you. Navel drawing into the spine. And finding the balance. Every side, every day it's going to feel different. Both sides are going to feel different. So just finding what your balance is right now. What is your balance? Calibrate on that right foot. Feel any shift of balance. And again, if you get wobbly, just consider it part of the learning process, part of the experience. We're going to bring the left knee in towards the chest to stand. First, bringing left knee to the abdomen, and then crossing the left ankle over the right thigh, start to bend the right knee. Sink the hips down. And you'll feel what feels good in the right knee. So if it feels like maybe you should shift the hips back a little bit to give the knee more space, do that. If you feel great where you're at, just kind of take account of how it feels. How does it feel? Does it feel wobbly? Does it feel sturdy? Then lowering the hands down, we're going to find the playtime. So again, you might stay in that squat and test the leg strength, right leg strength, the balance. You might come into a fold and work more on your right hamstring strength. Release the crown of the head if you have that fold. And if you want to take it a little step further and work on the arm balance, you'll set the hands down. You'll hook the shin, left shin, on the triceps, above the elbow. Get high on the triceps. Right toes might lift off the ground, bringing the right heel to the glute. You might try straightening that right leg, reaching the toes back to where the ceiling and the wall behind you meet. Or if you're outside, just lifting it towards the sky. If you do have the knee bent or straightened, bend it and then set the right foot down. Coming out the same way we came in, you'll slowly start to peel back up. Good. Lift the left knee into the chest as you stand. Reach the arms up. Inhale. Exhale, step down, and we'll reach the arms down. Inhale, arms come up. Moving through our flow as you exhale, fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Step or hop it back. Bend the elbows. Exhale. Inhale, take your back bend. Exhale, take your down dog. Good. Now, going back to the mountain climbers, inhale, lift the right leg, tap right elbow. Inhale, lift the right leg, and then exhale, tap left elbow. Inhale, lift right leg. Exhale, knee to chest to step it through. Now we're going to work on the hamstring flexibility, either revisiting our half split like we did earlier, or if you want to work on your full split, or you are working on your full split, you'll slide the right leg forward, left leg back. So do where you're at, be where you're at on this one. If you're working in half split, that's the hard work you have to do to eventually get that full split. So skipping the half split won't be beneficial. You're either in your half split, you're in your full split, or you're somewhere in between. And if you're somewhere in between, you can also stack books underneath the pelvis, or if you have yoga blocks, you can put those underneath the pelvis so that you have a perch to be up on. Idea there is that you're releasing the weight of the pelvis and hips down instead of forcing them down or pressing them down. You're finding a release of the muscles. And so if you have a block or something underneath the hips, underneath the pelvis, you're able to relax into that surface. If your pelvis is all the way down to the floor, you're working on relaxing the pelvis to the floor. Good. And you can stay lifted here, or if you have the bow forward, you can start to bring the forearms down to the ground, release the nose towards the shin. And returning to your intention, making sure that it's present in all areas of your practice. Never doing anything to force it, never doing anything primarily for the looks of it, or even for the looks of it, but for the feeling of it. And we'll move through center split before the other side. So as you extend the legs out to the side, you can either sit up nice and tall or drape the torso forward. Good. Go to where the sensation is at. So if the sensation is severe, back out of it. If the sensation is there, if there's sensation in the inner thighs, or if there's sensation in the calves, backs of the heels, backs of the ankles, or wherever you might feel that, get curious about it. So get very interested in what it feels like to be in whichever posture, in this case, your center split. Observing, staying present with the breath. A couple more breaths here. If you feel the need to fidget, question it and see what it's about. Now turning to the left side, we'll go ahead and bring the right knee down to the ground. Slide the left leg forward as you slide the right leg back. Hello, Cameron. He's going to teach dancing in the next episode. And again, you can stay upright or find the lean forward. This side will feel different than the other side, so if you want to use a block under the hips on this side, you can use a block or a stack of books. You could use a pillow, but I do recommend a hard surface to be able to rest on, so you have something to ground upon. In Hanumanasana, or this full split, we work on square hips, so eventually we want to be able to get the right hip further forward so that it lines up with the left hip, if the left leg is forward. So in this case, drawing back with the left hip, forward with the right hip, it will feel like a little bit of rotation of your pelvic bones, and then the spine will be able to extend straight out of the hips instead of having a tweak of the spine and an unsquare position of the hips. Good, finding the strength and the grace. So even though we have the hips resting down, you find that hugging in, back in towards the center of the pelvic bowl by drawing the hips square. There's a containment and an expansion or extension, in this case of the legs. Containment at the hips. Beautiful. And then we'll move back through center. So as you're ready, finding a push away from the ground. Slowly turning back to that middle split. And this time it might feel a little bit different. You might have a little bit more range of motion. You might have a little bit more flexibility to work with this time. So you can sit upright, you can fold forward, whatever feels best. And then moving to the center of your mat for a brief forward fold. You're going to extend the legs forward, bring the legs all the way together, and inhale the arms up. Exhale to bow forward over the legs and drape the forehead down. Now this one, I like to have something to rest my forehead on so it can be a very passive release, especially here towards the end of our practice. So you might stack the hands, you might make gentle fists with the hands and stack them one on top of the other, place the forehead on top to be able to relax the weight of the head into that support of the hands. Now if you're working with blocks, again, I like to work with a hard surface, so I don't recommend a pillow, but you can use a pillow if that works for you. You could also place a block under the forehead, a rolled up blanket if you are working with pillow blanket, something like that. Nice, and then just a couple more breaths here to release. Relax the hamstrings. Again, going back to that idea, not of stretching or pulling the hamstrings or forcing into it, but releasing into it, releasing the weight of your sits bones into the ground, releasing the weight of the shin bones and the femur bones down so that you can find the natural length of your hamstrings and calves that exists right now. Putting a little bit of pressure on them so that over time we can slowly start to move towards more flexibility in a healthy way, not a forceful way. So we're going to come down to the back now for our last couple of moments of our practice together, taking a gentle inversion. You can bring the feet back over the head, move into a plow pose and hold. Or if you want to go a step further, you're going to place the hands on the low back or the mid back. Draw the belly button to the spine and lift the legs straight up for shoulder stand. So now you're balancing on the triceps, shoulders, and upper back. If you feel a lot of strain on your neck, don't do this one. You can also just lie on the back with the legs extended straight up. If you're working in shoulder stand with me, you're squeezing the legs together, lifting the toes high, drawing belly button towards the backbone, trying to find as much length through the low back as you can. And then we'll all meet in that plow pose. If you did stay in plow pose, we're meeting you there now. If you took shoulder stand, bring the toes down to the floor. Legs can stay straight, hands can stay on the back, or knees can release down. And if you're releasing the knees down, they're gonna come towards the ears. And you can even gently squeeze the knees into the ears here, or just press the kneecaps towards the floor, shins towards the floor, and maybe the arms release down. Now, as you come out of this, slowly roll the spine down so you can feel that release of bone by bone by bone of the back. And extend the legs out, finishing with a fish pose. You're gonna reach the legs out long. You might have to reposition yourself on the mat here so that you're fully supported by the mat. And then snuggle the palms, the backs of the hands really underneath the glutes, palms flat on the floor. Squeeze the legs together as you push the toe prints forward. So push, push, push with the toes, like you're trying to push yourself off of a wall with the tips of the toes. And arch the upper back and drop the chin back. So you're trying to get the crown of the head onto the floor, almost like you're trying to get the hairline to the floor for fish. When you're ready to release it, go ahead and slowly make your way out of fish pose and release arms down by the sides. Relax the weight of the legs heavy. Finishing with Shavasana, you're going to close the eyelids down. Soften the skin around the eyes and relax the jaw. Let the weight of the skull be heavy on the ground. Almost like the weight of lead has filled the arms, the shoulders, the chest, the hips, the legs, the heels, even the toes, even the eyes, feeling them drop back into their sockets to rest. And then imagining the brain very peacefully but heavily softening back into the basin of the skull. We'll rest here for a couple of minutes in corpse pose, letting go of any control. And if you want to stay in corpse pose, I invite you to pause the video and take as much time as you would like here. But if you're ready to move on, you can start to slowly bring life back to the body. Begin by wiggling the fingers, wiggling the toes, and rotate the wrists and the ankles. Any other slow, soft movements to bring attention back. And then resting a hand on the belly, a hand on the chest, we'll take a couple of very mindful breaths through the nose, filling up the abdomen. Feel the belly expand, feel the hands rise, and as you exhale, feel the belly fall, chest deflate. Each time you inhale, feeling how the hands naturally float up with the torso. Each time you exhale, feeling the hands float down with the torso. Hands are heavy. Good. And then as you're ready, reach the arms overhead and take a deep inhale. And we'll exhale to bring the knees into the chest. You can do what you need here if you want to do a happy baby, or if you want to do a little bit of a rock side to side on the back. You can massage out the low back, back of the hips. You might grab a hold of the kneecaps, let the legs be heavy as you swish them side to side or kick the heels. Good. Feel the low back on the ground. Good. And then grabbing a hold of the kneecaps, start to give your knees a little bit of a massage all around the knees, the shins, down towards the ankles. Good. Showing some love to the body, to your stems. And then we'll come up to a seat. Sitting up nice and tall, take one last moment here to reflect on the intention that you set in the beginning of practice. was my honor to guide you through practice, and I look forward to having you join again next week. Namaste. Well done! So that was today's flow. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you'd like to support my work while we're not meeting publicly, I have a Venmo account that you can donate $20 to $30 to. If you don't have the means to donate, don't worry. Sharing this video with a friend and subscribing to the channel can be just as much of a support. I look forward to bringing you more videos every Wednesday. Have a great rest of your day.
Goddamn, I didn't see it when you lived here all your life, but didn't